Hey everyone, this is the first in a series of videos on practicing VBScript, and what I'm intending to do is have a project called the Oledium as a way to practice out all of the different aspects of VBScript. So Oledium, the idea is it's just a text-based adventure game, and using that we can practice out things like creating classes, functions, subs. We can think about the sort of logical flow through a program, how we capture and output data. Maybe we transform and store data in things like arrays or message boxes, etc. We just use the project of creating this basic text-based adventure game as a way to practice out all the different things that VBScript can do. And I mean, this approach would apply pretty much to every programming language, right? So it'll be up to us just to inventively come up with a structure for the game that needs us to use classes and methods and generate random numbers and output to text files and all the other good stuff, so we can practice it. And really, I'm not really sure this is a tutorial strictly. It's more of a, hey, come and join me while I practice some VBScript, and hopefully you'll feel like practicing some stuff yourself, or I'll do something useful that you want to have a play with. And I'm sure people will watch this that have got way better skills with VBScript than me. So give some feedback, tell me where I'm going wrong, how you would write it differently. That's all good, because that's the idea, that we get to the end of these series of videos and you hopefully are more competent with VBScript. Before I go on, and it's important to point out, I'm not going to cover the basics, because there is a series of videos on YouTube that do that really, really well, and it's from a guy called Jeremiah. His channel is Simply Coded. In fact, let's just go to his channel so you can see the URL. I strongly recommend you go and visit his channel, look at the VBScript lessons. I actually think there's more than 32 now, but he covers all the basics. So here's some, for example. What is this? Okay, so message boxes, run commands. Interesting, I have watched that. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. Right, controlling Internet Explorer, etc. Go to Jeremiah's website, sorry, YouTube site, Simply Coded, and watch those basics. If I kind of just seem to race on past something, we'll certainly have case statements, and I know he's got a great video on that here that explains it really well. You'll notice as well the style of videos that I've put up pretty much mirror what you see on Simply Coded's, on Jeremiah's YouTube site, simply because mimicry is the best form of flattery, or something, I think is the phrase. I couldn't do better. This was he's done it really well, so I've just thought, hey, what, I'll try and mirror what he's done there, and really he's not getting enough hits for the quality of work he's done. So feel free, hit the website, look over his videos, subscribe, click a few adverts. It's a good way to say thank you for the work he's done. And that's kind of it, right? So first thing for us to do is to have a think about what the Oledium will involve. And I'm just looking for FreeMind. Okay, FreeMind is a free download. It's a piece of freeware, but it's a mind mapping piece of software. So if you want to kind of read this, follow along, etc., feel free to again grab that. I'll put a description in the a link in the description box. So if we've got an adventure game, one of the main things we're going to have in an adventure game, let's just think about this, is the characters, right? Characters. And those characters will be, well, we have, what do we call them? What, player characters? I'm just trying to think back to the games I've played. Right, so you have, well, player character. We'll just have one for now. We're going to try and keep this as simple as possible. And then the non-player characters. Characters, right? Non-player characters, and the general mobs and monsters that roam about. So we're going to have to think of a way, to code up what are these monsters, what attributes do they have, how do we interact with them, and in fact, I guess they're all pretty much the same thing, just by different names. But we'll have a think about that. Right, and some of the monsters. I mean, let's think about this. Some of the monsters. Every adventure game, you start killing rats, right? Kobolds, those dog, sort of half-breed kobold, I think it is, isn't it? Dryads are always a good one. Dryad, and what's pretty tough? Kobolds, we've got those. Oh, what are those rock things? Golems, right? So golem, not golem. Golem out of Lord of the Rings. Golem. Okay. Alright, so you get the idea, right? So this is, and this player character, let's just be clear about this, is our hero. The hero. This is you. Excuse me. So just thinking about this, these monsters, we could probably just create a single class called monster and then instantiate that class, create copies of it in our game. So we'd have the golem, or we'd have the monster class, golem, monster class, dryad, etc. So the other thing all of these characters need, obviously, is a bunch of attributes. Attributes like, hit points, right? Every character has hit points. Points. What else would you have? So that's your general health. Strength. Hey, so when you fight, or the amount of stuff you can carry. As you can see, struggling to type. That could be good when I'm coding. What else would you have? Dexterity. Cool. Racking my brains here, trying to think what they have. I'm trying to think back to Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. Luck is always a good one. Stamina, right? Because you can only fight or run or do whatever for so long. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we get the idea. So we've got a bunch of attributes. Right. So if we were to create a class called monster, and then name that copy of the class rats would have all of these, and then kobolds would have all of these, and it feels like that's the right order, right? So rats would have 5 hit points, kobolds 10, dryads 15, and so on. So it just gives us a sort of basic outline. I'm assuming they're going to be classes instead of, I don't know, arrays or something, right? But we need to think about that. Right, what else would you have? So we've got characters and we've got stuff in the game. I don't know. What do you call it? World? Or we'll just call it items, like world inventory or something, right? So in the world, certain items would be, well, equipment. Can't have a hero running around naked. We could, but wouldn't be very good. Potions and artifacts. Artifacts like artifacts. I don't know, some special stone, some talisman or something. What else would you have? Weapons and armor, right? So weapons, armor. Just oh, that doesn't work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's just bring those together a little bit. Right, and all I'm doing here, I'm just trying to work out what it is I've got to have code for, because obviously nothing can exist in the game, and nothing can happen unless there's a piece of code there. So if we want a hero that can equip a sword, the hero, the ability to equip, and the sword all need to be coded into the game. And in fact, I've just realised, therefore, we need actions, right? There's got to be a bunch of actions. Ooh, last item. Backpack. Right? Or where the hell? Stick it all the stuff in the pockets. Right, so we're going to have a bunch of actions. Okay. Actions like, what, like attack? Hey, of course. And if you're anything like me, you're going to flee, run away. Come on, this is not working for me. Search is always a good one, right? Search for stuff. Rest when you get beaten up. Or you want time to pass. Hey, we're going to use our artifacts and potions. And equip. What? Unequip? Unequip? I mean, you could have a bunch here, couldn't you? You could have run, talk, but just try and get the ones that come to the top of my head. We can add to this mind map later, right? This is our design, our software design. I'm sure a software designer would disagree with that, but bear with me. Okay, it's not going to quite fit on the mind map here. But, okay. Okay, so that's probably okay. Let me just hit save on that. That'll do, right? So we should name these things. I'm just thinking, what would we, you know, for sort of like file names or class names. So maybe here. So, for example, what I mean is we'd have, and I don't even know how VBScript does this at the moment, but you know, so we'd have a class called monster, right? Can we make this bold? Interesting. So bear with me while I just find. Okay. Oh, there we go. It's up here. Going mad. Right. Okay. Right. There we go. So we've got class monster. So in fact, let's put all of these under here. Right. So okay. How do we move this? Alright. So we'd have a monster class, and we'd I think it's instantiate. You know, make a copy within the game of that class, but for a golem, for a dryad, etc. So okay. Yeah, don't really. I'll tell you what. In fact, let's change this to a class of hero. That should work, right? And then we'll make, you know, we'll instantiate what, a version or a copy. Is that working? Okay, why is that not going bold? Oh, it is. Okay, so we'd have a class hero, right, and it would be our player character, so on. Okay, running out of ideas there. So I'll tell you what, we'll leave it there, and in the next one, I might build this out, but in the next video, we'll look at just starting to lay down some code. We'll get some code structure together, maybe a, you know, basic framework, and bingo, we'll start putting this game together. Alrighty, see you in the next video.